Hey, Diane here with Creatives Ignite, and this episode is really about analyzing a quilt and all the patterns that are in the quilt. This is a really old quilt. I feel like I am not great with color, and I think must get that natural from the Gibbs side. And I feel like I know that I really struggle with the hero. So you have three kinds of patterns. You have a hero pattern, you have a coordinate, and you have a ditzy or blender. Part of this journey is me figuring out what the formula is for me for these. And I am looking at other people. I have no idea who designed these. And the people who put this quilt together talk about rando patterns. But hey, I like it. It's neat. It was probably built in the 40s or 50s maybe. So I hope you enjoy. I'm going to do some more of these, but I'm also going to do some analyzing of current designers because I am trying to learn and I'm trying to see what works with people. And there are some things that I did find out here. And I hope that you enjoy it. Let me know if it helps. Maybe you'll look at your quilts or things that you see out in the wild a little different. Okay, I just want to start off here. This is the process of the teacups, how I actually made them. I made one out of some pretty thin paper, which I talked about last time. And this is just me deciding to make 6 more, which I did use for some patterns. And, it's a little bit thicker paper, so I'm cutting them out, and I did a left side and a right side. And I just want to show you kind of my process. I'm using just regular old scissors, dollar store scissors. And I do have some smaller scissors. Using some Faber-Castell gray or like a blue-gray marker just to add some details. I'm using acrylic gouache. That's showing how the little tea light's gonna fit. It ended up looking not great because I think I kept it in my bag too long and it really got all wrinkly. So I think I need to do something else with the light part. But again, you can kind of see what I'm using to get, But I'm actually making these. These are real little collages, I guess. Well, these aren't necessarily collages, but they're mixed media pieces for sure. I did draw on these. This one I ended up thinking I did it too much and I ended up painting on top of it. Didn't like it. I don't love the colors. I really don't like the peach color. I just didn't like it together. So I ended up in Photoshop going back when I actually made the piece. I didn't really adjust this color that much or the blue, but I adjusted the peachy color to be like a lavender. Sometimes I have to turn it over and cut the outside out. And then I shaved off the little fuzzies, and then I do get my little scissors out, but I am gonna paint like where I'd painted over that yucky eyed. Again, that's what I love. I love working like this, doing these pieces that I can just paint over. I could add something on top of it. I think I just needed less shadow. Sometimes I just have to play. And these are both the same color, just I guess I put more green on one. That's how the light's gonna work. I painted the light, that tracing paper, like a yellow. Now here's me finishing up, figuring out what color I wanted to paint the tea or coffee. My head gets in there in a minute. I really don't know what I was doing there. I think I was just kind of doing a wash just to give it a little bit darker feel. And then I'm just using this one as the template. Well, there's my head. I like to see how people make things, so this is at like 500 speed. Definitely, I don't work this fast. I'm going to cut it out so I don't really need. I'm using like a luminance pencil there. There's the acrylic wash. I'm just making a slit so I can put that little tea light in. Just want it to fit all of them. I have a really good blade. I'm using here, I decided to use different colors for all of them. That was a green gold or gold Caran d'Ache Neo Color 2. I do scan these in. All right, so I've been wanting to do this for a while. And it is analyzing some old quilts. And so these are some that are from my family. All right, so I'm going to go through in my limited knowledge as I'm learning Hero, Coordinate, Ditsy. And then we have fabric that's just solid. Obviously, we need solids. I would say this is probably after the Second War. So my dad was born in 42. This is something I see already. So they kind of put it in a different way as they're quilting it. I just love the bubbles here, the puckering. But this is a coordinate. This would go with obviously something solid or solid this color. But I think this is so perfect for me because they're making weird color connections that, with a quilt, I think it works. But if we're talking about this I think is the Hero. It's clear. So this pattern has, I'm going to just count the different flowers. So this is a repeat, so it must be a half drop or something. So I see one. Well, maybe they just repeated that one, but it's not the exact. Nope, it's not, because there's that black thing underneath there. So it's the same pattern but turned or adjusted. So I'm gonna maybe have to put a number on them. But that's always kind of what I'm do. How many are the same within the repeat? So I can't see the repeat yet. In this section, let's see. Okay, so in about this section, I don't see the repeat happening. I see similar flowers, and there's layering. So one thing note to myself is there's layering in number one. There's layering. There are, let's count. So there's the colors. You see me? The colors are cream. So this, or the white, but I'm sure the cream. There's cream, brown, lavender, mint green, orange. This is the lavender. So it's similar but not. So so cream, orange, brown, lavender, green. I think it's just 5 colors. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so we have 5 colors. And I need to see what section. This is one piece of fabric, but this piece is one piece. It goes from here to this is where this one piece. And I'm just trying to see if I'm seeing where the repeat happens. And to be honest, I don't. From this piece, if I'm going, it may well, no, it has to repeat this way too. So there's a lot of layering. That's one thing, but I don't see another one that looks like that. And, your repeat could happen 6 inches, 12 inches, 24 inches. I don't see like a hero element or object, so maybe it's, not the hero. But there's a lot going on for me. So I always think of like a coordinate as being, it's big, but it's limited colors. Maybe these things will be easier to see when it's I just don't see it. Oh, wait. This repeats. This element right here repeats exactly over here. So we have, I gotta find it again. So I think it was this one and this one. So it is probably a half drop repeat. I'm just going to do it like this and see where this one pops up. I'm doing the middle of the iris, or what, I don't know, the center of the flower. So it looks like about 7. If I just pull this down, 7 1/4. Weird number, but okay. So there's a lot in here. If I'm looking at this, I know there are similar flowers, but they have drawn them multiple times. And they're not just picking it up and copy paste exact. So I think that that's something that my students just want to be like, okay, I'm using that flower, I'm using it here and here and here and here. And granted, we all kind of work that way to some extent if we're under deadline. But like, I think even these were drawn separate. Like, these are separate. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7, 8. Okay, so 8 of those little leaf things, different of those things. So there are maybe 8 sets. Then we have the flowers that are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5. This is a really bad flower. And they have this thing with the little stamens coming out. So we have this kind. We've got 1 white flower, 2 white flowers. I don't know if that really matters, but these are the same sort of flower. So we have, then there are leaves, there are flowers, and then there are those things. So there's this, 2, 3. Flower wise, we have this one we have one type that's like this. We have another type that is a 4 leaf. I'm just trying to analyze to see, and it has kind of a circle with this, there's a little bit more stuff on detail on the, so with this one we have a white one that has a brown center, We have a white one that has orange here, orange here. We have no green flowers. I have some leaves that are, I have orange leaves with, it looks like a detail of brown. Filled orange. Green leaves with a green fill with detail brown. But I also see green leaves with detail of white. Maybe it's green detail, white leaf. Okay. Have these solid brown leaves. Piece of the thing. Anyway, we have these flowers. We have a brown flower that is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 petal, not perfect. It's overlapping weird places, and it has white or whatever. These circles that are also white, brown, center. Brown and white. It's just a brown and white. Like this one has some brown detail. Okay, so let's do one of these purple flowers. So let's do this one. This one is a purple flower with orange and brown detail. And there's detail up here, overlaps, and then the center looks like this. Has some coming in further, and there's this, it's kind of a orange and brown. This is orange. Okay. But it's a lot. It's a lot, and the colors don't match the rest of the quilt. So we'll see. So we've done this one. This is just a plain. So I don't know if they would give people, you're going to do a plain that's here and here, right? But Pernell M, she did a really wonderful job on her name. And here's another plain. So maybe plain goes in an order. So this is Miss Arnold. And I would consider this a coordinate. And it does not match. But it stands out. So, and these kind of are this color, pink. But this has two colors. I guess three colors. There's the white, the purple, and then the blue. Maybe there's four colors. I don't know. It looks more like it's like a watercolor, so there's variations of color, especially over here. So I don't know. There's a lot more blues maybe, but basically it's three: dark blue, light blue, and like a purple blue. I wouldn't think this went together. I mean, I love this, but again, for somebody who struggles with color, if this is what I've been looking at my whole life, no wonder. This goes with this, but this doesn't really go with the outside. Maybe it was important to have kind of I don't know, the orange kind of throws me, and I love orange, but this is real faded, but this looks pretty brand new. Obviously not brand new, but, and then this looks just like chambray or chambray or whatever. So we have daisies. This, I still don't think this is a ditzy because I don't think it's small enough. Again, who knows? But maybe they were all kind of using a coordinate and then using this as the place of rest. It very much looks like just the same flower repeated down. On the checkerboard part, which I think you can see. Well, that one looks different than this one. It's a little hard to see. I know the leaves, they might move a little bit. That looks a little different from that. And that looks maybe different. No, those two are the same. So maybe they did... Yeah, this flower's different from this flower. So maybe they did two different flowers and they're just... Here, these are... But they flip them. So this is a non-directional. So these are at the bottom here. These are at the bottom here. It's a one purple, white, blue, green, pink, 5-color again. All right, so let's do this one, which I probably like this one the most. I definitely don't. It goes with the base fabric, but I like, there's just this tiny bit of yellow in this, and I like that Annie, Ruth, Lindsay. This I would definitely say it could be a hero. It's pretty big. Definitely doesn't go. And there's multiple kind of groupings, so this may have been a hero. This is a lot of colors, so we have blue, royal blue, green, red, yellow, white. I think 6. 2 blues. One of the blues is acting as the dark. But there's like this cluster here. Maybe this is just the top. Nope, it's a different top. Maybe it's just about clustering. That is something I see a lot. There's not as much layering, so I'm going to say maybe it's not a hero. It's just a coordinate. Hopefully this is interesting. So Louise Lindsay has kind of a, I don't know, a textured fabric for this. I would definitely say this is a ditzy, probably. Really thin on the edges. And this is the middle. This is, I would say, non-directional because, well, it's up and down or side to side, however you tend to cut it. But it's the same thing. It would be a really, so it's a bigger ditzy than what I normally see. So anyway, good to see, but very graphic. There's no detail. It's just shapes. And it's very taking liberty on what the little thing that holds the bud onto the thing. It's like a triangle arrow thing. So interesting. It's just a checkerboard, but it's a really small, so definitely a ditzy. I would also say this is a coordinate. It has a lot of colors though, and it's kind of big, but I always think of a coordinate as kind of being bigger. Not as big maybe as the hero, but we have dark blue, which is also used around the red. We have the white or cream, which really looks white here. And then we have the light blue, and this is just where they overlap, but maybe there's kind of a texture behind this one flower. And how many flowers do we have? So that's the same flower. We have green. So there may be 3 blues, light blue, dark blue for sure. And then maybe this is kind of a medium, or maybe it's just where 2 blues overlap. But you have to have like transparent ink. So I don't know. Instead of opaque. So it would have, I think it's probably a 3rd color is back there. So white, red, dark blue, medium blue, light blue. Green, did I say? Red, green, white, blue, blue, blue. 6 colors. And I really think it's the same drawing. Well, that one looks a little bit smaller. These leaves look smaller, so maybe 2 different drawings. Just trying to look and see if they look similar. You can see where it's off register there. But really, they didn't do very many, but they did. This is non-directional because they're not headed in the same direction. Those are not facing, these are in the same direction, but that's good to know. So Miss Langley. Then we have Lila Johnson. This is something I would pick out. plain, and then a ditzy, just checker. So this one is the most worn. So maybe this was the top of the quilt. It definitely, or my people can't sew good. So I need to fix this one for sure. So we have a stripe that's kind of a unique. So these white dots. So white, forest green, red, yellow, other color. The other color green kind of goes with this. And then we have white. So white's probably just the fabric color. But white, yellow, green, green. So 5 colors. I don't know. I think this is interesting that the dots they're not perfectly, the line, it's touching the line every time. The others are pretty equidistant from each other. This one is probably one of my favorites because I think it's just the most weird colors. I mean, obviously with this, I would definitely say this is just a coordinate because it doesn't have much layering. If I'm thinking about layering is one things I noticed about Hero. I think, maybe the ladies really put their personality. I don't know. I think this is interesting. I think the colors on this are interesting. So again, for me, I can maybe pull from this to do colors or pull from this to do colors. Main color here, I think, would be white. The pop color is the green and the red, probably. There's more navy and teal, and maybe navy and teal, and then purple would be the third most used color after white and dark blue. It looks like we might have a darker blue. So maybe there's teal, royal blue, dark blue, purple, green, red, white. 7 colors. Don't know why I'm counting it like that, but this one is Myrtle Gibbs. Love her. She did a cursive G. Stripes, thick to thin. Okay. I don't know who any of them are. Mabel Gibbs. Maybe this is a great aunt or something. This is like a gradient, which, if you know me, I absolutely hate gradients. But, it's like, is it faded like that? Or I actually think it's like stripes. So they have some thicker stripes, and then they put some of these purple things in, and they put some of the green inside this. So you can kind of see the stepping, how it got to be a gradient. But maybe this is why I have trouble with color. I get it natural. And we have these stripes, which are directional. I think this is not a ditzy. This would be a coordinate. We have teal, yellow, white, pink, and blue. So 5 colors. Thicknesses change, but the repeat, I guess they just did it like. I would say this is a ditzy, or I would kind of say it's a ditzy, but I don't. Well, anyway, I don't know that much. But because everything's so small. But again, this one's kind of small, and this is the Hero. We have pink. I believe it's just a 2-color job, but it's just mark making, which again, oh, Diane, let's do some mark making of different stripes. This one's sewn pretty well. Not a lot of layering, but I might have thought that was a Hero just because it's bigger. We have blue, 1-color blue, red, pink, and green, and white. A lot of different drawings that go into one. A lot of different flowers. Is that the same? No. Same kind of flower, but not the same. All right, now this one is another Gibbs, LD Gibbs, that is definitely going rogue. Kind of like Mabel. Did stripes and then a ditzy. This is for sure a ditzy. So I should be able to see the repeat pretty
quick, but it would be good to know how many little flowers she's using. So I think I'm trying to match this one here. This one has a dot on the front. Now they've just put the dot on the other side on this one. Just trying to see where that thing repeats. And it has like 3 bumps. There it is. There, is that the first time it repeats? Then it would have that little bit. Yeah, maybe. Because that looks like that. So yeah, this is the repeat. So I'd say that was 4 inches maybe. That's a lot that's happening. That a lot of it looks different. Maybe they twisted the flower. This has a lot of color. This has, for a ditzy, this has a lot. So we have a blue, green, another green, and red, and white. So 5 colors. Here, stripes, pink, maroon, white, green, yellow. Georgie? Georg? Or Jory Gibbs? I don't know. I think she ran out of fabric. So these 2 match. This and this match. And this match. This is kind of an interesting stripe. Obviously, this one looks more faded. This one doesn't. So lots of stripes happening. Multiple blues. It looks like a light blue, the medium blue, royal blue, and then a dark blue. And it is just kind of gradiating in stripes. So thicknesses. This sort of looks like it goes with Mabel's a little bit. It's kind of like purple and green. I do think it just should be this last one. And it's the Crumley. She went white here, which is very dirty, pink, and then she did these little, maybe they're like cotton bowls. I would definitely say this is a ditzy. It's yellow, white, and brown. Like it. Non-directional. That was the quilt overview. That's all we got to today.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you will hit like and subscribe, that really helps. And also just comment to let me know, Diane, don't ever do another quilt one. Or please do another quilt one. I have lots of other ones. I have another big quilt over there. I might break it into some smaller things. But I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will look to see you. It looks like it's about every 2 weeks. So I'll see you every 2 weeks with another one. And I hope you have a great couple weeks. Bye.